Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Living It podcast. We're here today with Katy, but before we start, I'd just like to thank our sponsors, Pure Prep and Buffalo Whey Protein. So Katy, I'd like to start with your fitness journey and your life in fitness. Take us back. Where did it start?
How long you got?
As long as you need.
All right, so my fitness journey started when I lived in Australia. So hated fitness, did not enjoy training whatsoever. And I was in my early 30s and I got to Bondi Beach and I was pretty old at the time and in comparison to the other people that were in Australia. You know, a lot of hot, young Swedish girls. And I'm walking around, I'd put quite a bit of weight on and I was walking down Bondi Beach and I was like, I need to sort myself out. You know, I'm lying on the beach, I'm scared of sitting up just in case my rolls are hanging out. And I was like, right, it's time to start training, right? So I despised training for the first couple of years, did not enjoy it whatsoever, and then I finally got into it. You know, I'd walk down the beach and I'd be like, why are people training at 6 o'clock in the morning? Just go to sleep.
You just didn't get it.
I didn't understand it. But Bondi Beach, it was just full of people training. And then I started exercising, started to enjoy it a little bit more. I started training at F45, so I'd go on my lunch breaks. And then I actually went through a bit of a breakup. And I was like, right, I can either go into self-destruction mode or I can go and do this F45 8-week challenge. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go down that route. So trained really hard and lost weight, built muscle, felt incredible. And I was like, right, I want to work for them. So I did my online qualifications and I got my certificate in group coaching, group fitness coaching, and I got a job with F45. And it started from there, really. And since then, I've absolutely loved it. And I wasn't doing very well with my mental health as well. And I just found it changed me so much as a person, so much more confident. You know, I felt so much better within my body and it just brought so much confidence. And I was always very shy and quiet. And when it came to group fitness, and I've said this quite a few times on podcasts, but, you know, the first time I went to the F45 studio to do my first class, I vomited outside the studio twice. I was absolutely petrified. And I was like, how am I going to talk in front of these people? And I was stuttering, couldn't get my words out. And then it just got easier and easier from there. And from then, I just was like, it's helped me so much in my life. I want to help women, you know, overcome, whether it's depression, anxiety, whatever it is. And my background's psychology, so I've done a lot of work in mental health, and I've worked a lot with prisoners, drug and alcohol addicts and refugees, asylum seekers. And I just feel like, you know, working with people who've suffered some sort of trauma in their life and incorporating fitness as well into it, it's just the whole package.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot there to unpack.
Yeah.
Very inspiring story, by the way.
Thank you.
But the first thing for me is, so you didn't get into sport and fitness until your early 30s, which I think for a lot of people, that might be quite surprising. I mean, looking at yourself, looking at your social media, you'd probably assume that you've been in it since forever.
Yeah.
But I guess the key takeaway that I would have from that is not that obviously early 30s is old by any stretch. But I mean, it's never too late to get into sport and fitness, is it? And, you know, we've worked with people who get into sport and fitness even later than that, much later than that. So I think that the key message there, number one, is even if, you know, in school or in your 20s or wherever, if sport and fitness wasn't necessarily for you, you can still get into it later and have great experiences such as yourself. And then just to come back again to the impact that it has on mental health, because I mean, looking great and being healthy physically is one thing, but I also think that you can't overlook the important role that physical exercise plays in your mental health.
Absolutely.
So would you like to tell us, what's your experience in that side of things, and how has being in fitness improved your own mental health, but also other people as well?
Well, in Australia, I used to work in a children's residential home. And again, a lot of them suffered with depression, anxiety, you know, they wouldn't want to get out of bed. I started taking some of the residents to boxing classes, and it was so great for them to have an outlet, you know, and they absolutely loved it. And it completely changed them as well. And for me, I just, you know, confidence-wise, I've always grown up very shy and unconfident. And there'd be times where, you know, even doing a podcast for me, I'd be absolutely petrified, you know, to think later on in life I'd be doing things like this or doing public speaking. You know, I was going to do a public speaking course because I was so scared at the thought of talking. And it's changed my life in so many ways that I'm so grateful for, not just the physical side of things, because I'm 42, I'm going to be 43 next month, right? And don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of bloody injuries, right? Yeah. But the body doesn't respond greatly as you get older. But I feel incredible, you know, and I'm so grateful that, you know, I started, even if it was late, that I started, you know, and that I actually found a love for it. And now I work with a lot of clients that are in their 40s, and I class them as being older, and then I'm like, Kate, you can't say that because you're in your 40s, so you're in that category as well. But, you know, and I always stress this to my clients as well, it's never too late to start. And I've got a program called Fit at 40, you know, you can start in your 40s. My eldest client's 63, you know, and it doesn't matter how old you are. And that's a message I want to get across, that it doesn't matter how old you are. My mum's 70 and she still goes to the gym, and, you know, she enjoys training, and yes, I have to push her a little bit, but it's so important for us, especially as women as well, to be lifting weights, being strong in your 40s as well.
Yeah. Why is it so important then, for maybe some of our listeners that don't know? Please try and explain to us, why is it so important to continue training, not only in your 40s, but also 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s even? Why is it so important?
Because as we get older, we lose a certain percentage of muscle mass each year, you know? I don't want to be 70 years old and not be able to get out of a chair or walk up the stairs or need any help. You know, I've got a niece and nephew. I don't have any children at the moment, but I want to be able to run after my niece and nephew. And, you know, if you've got grandkids, you want to be able to do stuff with those as well, so, or your own kids that are quite young. So it's, you know, I think as I was growing up, I never saw my parents train. It wasn't really a thing back then, you know, they didn't exercise. It was, you know, didn't really look after their health. And now I just think it's great how times have changed, and fitness is such a big part of day-to-day life, and it should be for everyone. And, you know, doctors should be prescribing exercises rather than giving antidepressants and things like that, because, you know, they're so quick to give pills and things, and it's like, just get moving, get out, go for a walk, get some fresh air, listen to podcasts, self-help books, listen to podcasts that are there for self-help as well. And there's so much that can be done with just moving your body and exercise.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, and I do agree with what you said there, and it's actually something that's quite close to my heart. Is what you said there about this prescription medication stuff. I think we're far too quick to just hand this out like Smarties.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas a lot of I'm obviously no expert in this, but I mean, I've been exercising for a few years now, and I know that without it, I would be lost. I get so much of my identity from it. It gives me so much confidence. Yeah, it's just so powerful. So it's great to see that you've obviously found, you know, fitness and sport and exercise and how good it is, and then you're preaching the good fight, which is great, obviously. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about then. So you lived in Australia for 7-8 years? 7
years, yeah. I went back to England for 9 months in between, and then I went back again.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Couldn't stay away?
Well, I did 3.5 years, and then unfortunately a family member had terminal cancer, so I had to go back home. Well, I didn't have to. I wanted to go back home. And then I went back for another 3.5 years. But then I just had visa problem after visa problem, and I had to leave. But I think, you know what, if anyone needs advice on Australian visas, everyone would come to me, right?
You know everything.
I knew everything.
So Australia then, because Australia is somewhere that, you know, the fitness scene and health and fitness as part of like your everyday life, I think they do lead the way in a lot of areas with regard to that. You know, sport events and fitness events in Australia are huge. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your experience in that side of things. I mean, from what I'm hearing is you were there and you almost got swept up in this world of being healthy and active and sporty, just as a byproduct of the people that were around you. Would that be accurate?
That's 100% accurate, yeah. Because in England, you know, there's a big drinking culture there. You know, not a lot of my friends or family members were into the gym. So Australia really changed that for me, because it was like, all right, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, we're going to go train in the morning, or we're going to go for a beach walk, we're going to go for a coastal walk, and everything's really outdoorsy, and it's just so nice. And then, you know, one thing that really stuck with me is just seeing kids before school doing like boot camps on the beach, and I'm like, they're sprinting up and down, I'm on soft sand running, and I'm like, these kids, and now they've got to go and do a whole day at school, but that's just their lifestyle. And I was like, they need to bring that to England. Do you know what I mean? And get the kids.
I think if you can carry those habits through from a young age into your adult life, not only is it good, obviously, because you're involved in sport, but I think that the qualities that you would acquire through doing that, I mean, discipline and aiming for a goal and self-improvement, those are things that relate to every part of your life.
That's it, yeah. And I just think it's so important with kids as well to be setting that example. You know, when I was back at home and I was training during lockdown, my little niece is like, why are you exercising all the time? I'm like, because I'm getting old now. I need to be able to run after you lot. And she's seen it all. You know, she saw my brother training. He built a gym in the garage. My dad was playing cricket. My mum goes to the gym. My sister-in-law was cycling at the time. So she's been brought up with that. And I think it's just such a good example to set for kids. I have a lot of clients as well that are like, you know, I'm working out and I've got my little toddler next to me and I'm like, that's great. And she's bought her some little dumbbells. And I just think it's just such a great example to set to the younger generation.
So Australia, back to the UK, back to Australia, and now obviously Thailand.
Yeah.
So what brought you to Thailand?
So after Australia, I never even knew about Fitness Street, but my friends in Australia had been in December 2018, and I had to leave Australia in February 2019, and I thought, I'm not going straight back to England. I was like, I'll come here for 2 weeks, train, and then I just fell in love with the place. I extended it for 2 months, and then ever since then, I've been coming back and forth from England, apart from COVID, obviously, because I couldn't make it. But I was turning 40 in February 2023. March 2023. So I decided to come to Thailand because I wasn't feeling great. I just had Christmas at home, eating all my mum's home-cooked food, drinking a lot. And I was like, right, I can't be turning 40 feeling like this. So I was like, I'm going to come and train and just make myself feel better. And I came out here. It's meant to be 2 months. And I'm an online coach and I never pushed it really. I was doing face-to-face back in England. I was also working full-time as a drug and alcohol worker. And so I had about 2-3 online coaching clients. And you know what? I'd met so many people over the years of coming here that were online coaches. And I was like, you know, I'd love to be an online coach. I'd love to live from anywhere in the world and just be able to work from my laptop. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I spoke to a friend and he was with a business mentor. And I said to him, look, I really want to get fully into online coaching. And he was like, well, actually, the business mentor who's from Dubai is actually doing an event in Phuket tomorrow. Why don't you come along to that? So I went along to that event and it was really good. And I decided to sign up with this business mentor. And then I just put it on Instagram that I was, you know, taking on more clients. And I had so much interest and I was so shocked. And I was like, well, I don't really need to go back to England from this. I can work from here. And I thought, it's great because the majority of my clients are in the UK and the time difference is usually 6-7 hours, right? So by the time I've got up, trained, you know, eaten, showered, I'm ready for the day. And then the UK is waking up.
So you're doing your check-ins then. You're checking in with your clients, maybe updating some programs. And then the time difference works out really nicely. Yeah,
if I need to speak to them on the phone, the time difference is perfect. And I've done all that I need to do in the morning, so I can work the rest of the afternoon.
That's incredible, So you've lived here for how long now?
3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any sign of wanting to leave this place or you're here forever now?
Do you know what? I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to travel a little bit though, but this place, you know, I'll always be coming here. Always. It's my happy place.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's many places in the world where you've got a street just dedicated to fitness.
It really is incredible,
So for me, it's just, you know, the gyms are everywhere. I can go for my massages. It's just a great life. Like, I can't complain.
I have to say, I'm a little bit envious. It sounds like you've built a really nice life for yourself here. I mean, the first time I came here was summer 2025, but I'd been wanting to come here since as long as I can remember. Just the things people would say about the street and it's 1 kilometer and you've got all these gyms and all these places you can eat healthy food. It just sounded like paradise.
That's it.
And then I finally came and you can't drag me away from the place. I'm here every couple of months. So no, that's incredible. So you've obviously built your online presence now, and from your page, and for anyone that knows you, they'll know that you do focus a little bit more towards a certain group.
Yeah, the South Asians.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that then, because it's quite interesting, I think.
Yeah, so when it comes to getting a niche, people usually pick their niches, right? I didn't pick my niche. My niche came to me because me being Indian, I attract all the Indians, right? My mum said to me once, can you not get any non-Indian clients? I'm like, Mum, I don't pick my clients based on the colour of their skin, their ethnicity. It's, you know, who comes to me. And the thing about working with South Asians is I know the South I can't speak. I know the South Asian struggles, right? So, you know, you go to someone's house, you automatically get fed And it's always like, just eat. And it's, if you say no, people get offended, right? So there's things like that. Or you go to weddings, or you go to events. Indian weddings are 5 days long. There's food everywhere. There's booze everywhere. So it's just that niche has kind of come to me. And I enjoy working with South Asians as well. Don't get me wrong, there can be hard work at times because they do need hand-holding at times. And they want results yesterday. But, we work on that. We work on that.
I really like that you've got your target audience, and then you really focus on that, and you focus on being really good at that. Because I do think that in the industry that you're in, we do see some people who thinks that maybe their recipe is right for everyone.
Yeah.
And whether they're coaching a 21-year-old guy or a 39-year-old lady, someone from the Middle East or someone from Africa or someone from the UK, I mean, the same recipe is not going to work for each of those people, is it?
No, it's definitely not. And the thing is, a lot of clients say to me, do I have to stop eating Indian food? And I'm like, no way. Like,
of course not.
It's the best food in the world. Why would anyone want to not eat Indian food? So it's like teaching them how to have Indian food, but making it a little bit healthier because, Indian food's known to be really creamy, lots of butter. And, I've seen my mum do it as well, just shoving in all this stuff on the sly. And me and my brother are like, did you just put loads of butter in there, And so it's about making the food and just making it a little bit healthier, and still being able to enjoy the foods that you love whilst, whatever your goal is, whether it's to lose weight, build muscle, both.
Yeah. No, being able to enjoy like the things you love. Yes, like you don't have to give up the things you love in order to be healthy, right? I think everything is about balance, and you mentioned it there, like small little changes that you can make, adding a little bit less butter, for example, they really can make a huge difference.
Absolutely, right? And then just getting people to move more, walk around more. A lot of the women I work with are, they live with their in-laws, they've got children, so they've always put their needs last. I've got to look after my family, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, and it's like, actually, you need to look after yourself so you can give that energy in the household, so you can look after your in-laws, so you can manage your kids as well. But in our culture, in the past, it's changing now. It was very, you're kind of seen as selfish if you're doing something for you. When you get married as a woman, you're looking after the family, you're looking after everyone else.
But what I would say to that, so if you are doing something which might be perceived by some as looking after yourself, I mean, if you're looking after your health, your fitness, that's just going to make you a better version of yourself. So everyone around you then, whether it's your husband or your children or your wider extended family, I mean, they then get access to the best version of you.
That's it,
so, yeah.
But then back in the day, it wasn't seen like that. It was seen as, you should be at home. You should be doing this or you should be doing that. Like, what you're going to the gym for, But obviously, times have changed now, so...
Yeah, it's nice to see you driving those changes and those perceptions, so that's good.
I hope so. That's what I really hope that I am doing.
So tell us a little bit about your own personal relationship with sport and fitness then. So I think you obviously train here on the street.
I do, yeah.
Where do you train?
So I love Muay Thai, absolutely love it.
Okay, yeah.
It's my favourite. And the thing is, recently, so I've had back issues for quite a while, right? I finally got an MRI done in December. Found out I've got quite a large bulging disc in my spine, so L5, S1. Yeah, so... It's been a bit of a struggle because obviously living on Fitness Street and when I came back from England, I was in a lot of pain, started training again, and I was in agony and watching people walking up and down this street in their Muay Thai gear or running down the street. Got to one point, I was like, if one more runner runs past me, he's getting tripped up, right? Can't cope with this. But I've learned to sort of work around my injury now, okay? So I know what I can and can't do. So I'll go to classes. The trainers all know if Katy's doing something different, there's a reason why she's doing it. So I know what my body can do at the moment as well. So I go to strength and conditioning classes. I also train at Primal, so I do my strength training there. And I train at Pirate, at Kong, and Muay Thai at the moment. I'm taking a little bit of a break from it, but I need to go back because that's the one thing that I love, where it gets a lot of aggression out, right? So I just need to get the okay from the hospital to say that I can start kicking. I did do Muay Thai recently and just did punching and elbows. And friends are like, just go to Western boxing. I'm like, no, I love throwing an elbow too much, so I'm not giving up on Muay Thai.
We don't want to get on the wrong side of you then. But I think there is a bit of a common theme here. So you mentioned about the food and the South Asian food, and now you've mentioned about, you have a few injuries, but I think that maybe some people who are listening, they think that when you're being healthier or eating healthier or training healthier, you think it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
But that's not the case, right?
It's not, no. You've got, again, what I've realised is, as I've got older, I've got a few niggles, a few injuries, and I used to just not listen to them. I used to just smash my body. I'd be going to 2 classes a day, I'd be doing Muay Thai, and I'd be overtraining. And now it's just taught me, right, your health is so important, right? You know, what you're putting into your body and actually what you're doing with your body as well, you know? I'm sometimes in classes and I'm like, I can't keep up with these 20-year-olds now, right? Just accept it. But it's so important to listen. And the great thing about this street is as well, there's so many recovery places as well. You know, you've got your ice baths, you've got your massages, you've got your physios, and there's a lot around to help with injuries as well. But it's about training smarter when you get to a certain age as well. You know, you just want to do everything, but it's like you've got to listen to your body as well.
Honestly, I think training smart when you're younger as well.
Yeah.
Like these guys, you see them, and it is great. Like they're younger, they're a bit fresher. But I do think that in the theme of like longevity, you have to train smart.
Yeah.
You really, really do. And I think you touched on it there, but recovery also plays such an important role.
Yeah.
You know, when we're all a bit younger, I know I was really stupid with my training.
Yeah.
You do push it too much, but then I think you pay for it a little bit later.
100%.
I mean, I don't think I have any knees left, which is awkward.
Yes, I think I did the same as well. So when I started training a little bit later, and I just got overexcited. I was doing 3 F45 classes a day, and it caught up with me. It's like, you know, I'd have a little niggle or an injury, and I'd be like, oh, I can train through this. And I'm like, don't be such an idiot, because then you're out of it for so much longer, you know? So it's like, okay, you've got an injury. You can work around injuries. Like at the moment now, I do a lot of back supported stuff. I do my rehab stuff. I'll go to the gym. I know there's certain movements that I cannot do, but there's other ways to train it, right? So it's about learning about what your body can do as well and adapting your training accordingly as well.
Is this a big part of what you do with your clients? You help them get through, like, you know, if they have any limitations or potentially an injury, mindset as well. Is this a big part?
I do a lot around mindset.
Yeah.
A lot because of my background as well. Like, you know, I've worked in high security prisons and things like that, working with people and getting them motivated to, you know, even leaving prison and getting jobs and leading better lives. And I just think, you know, people are like, God, it's such different jobs. But I'm like, no, but the experience I've got from the psychology side of things, it helps me so much in my coaching because of, you know, limiting beliefs and, you know, people thinking that they're not good enough or they're too old now or they can't do it. And so I do a lot of work around the mindset and the motivation because people think it's all about, you know, just going to the gym, eating healthy. It's really not. It's about what's going on up here. And that's what people forget because, you know, people that are motivated can go to the gym, they can exercise, they can go for a walk, they'll push themselves to do it. But it's like people who, like me originally, I didn't enjoy exercise, but people who don't enjoy it see it as a chore. So it's about changing their mindset around, actually, you get to work out. You know, you're lucky you get to move your body, you know, and I think since having so many injuries, it's made me so grateful for the ability to be able to move and to be able to move without pain, you know, and this is what I want to teach my clients, that you're physically able. Get out there and do it. Prioritize time. You know, you prioritize time for work meetings, things like that. Prioritize time for your health and your, you know, and your whole life, basically. Yeah,
I love that. Really, really good. I think that mindset shift that you spoke about there is a massive part of it, and you've seen it in yourself, obviously, because you were 30, you didn't care, and now your mindset has shifted, and you're obviously living the dream in the fitness world.
Absolutely,
so, I think that that's a really, really important message, I think, to share to anyone that is listening, that it is a mindset thing.
Yeah.
But people sometimes need to be helped through that mindset shift.
Absolutely.
No, I love it. I really like it. So, talking a little bit about your training, we've spoke a lot about different types of training. There is a particular type of training or athlete I would like to talk about, just to see if you have any thoughts or opinions on it, and that is the current trend, I guess, which is going around now, which is the hybrid training, hybrid athletes, hybrid races.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you see a lot of it here. Some of the gyms you mentioned, they do focus on hybrid training, and a lot of hybrid athletes go there. What are your thoughts on this new hybrid trend that's going around?
I absolutely love it. I do love it, but what I've noticed recently, I signed up to my first High Rocks last year, never actually got to do it. But obviously there's a lot of that going on now. I just think people need to focus on strength as well. You know, there's everywhere you go now, it's a bloody high rocks class, right?
Yeah.
I've got nothing against high rocks, right? I did sign up to it, not realizing that there was 100 wall balls at the end. I absolutely despise wall balls. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I should really look and see what is involved in these races. But I think they're brilliant. I think they're great. It's great motivation for people, and it's good for people to get training for them. And, you know, it's a great sense of community as well, you know? I think it's brilliant. Like I've done many years ago, I did the London Marathon, right? And probably one of the best days of my life.
Wow.
One of the most amazing experiences. Don't get me wrong, I couldn't walk for a week afterwards, right? My legs were in absolute bits, didn't train enough for it. But I just think, you know, it's a great sense of accomplishment once you've done it. And it's a great achievement as well.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, some interesting insights into hybrid fitness racing. I mean, obviously the best hybrid race in the world is Primal race. So we will show you some highlight videos later, and then maybe if the back issues are okay in a few weeks, we'll see you on the course. But yeah, no, I think that you hit some really important points there. The community around these big events where people all come and they've got a common goal. I think it is. In the modern world, we can be a little bit disconnected. Everything's very digital now. Even somewhere as social as Fitness Street, you do still see people in the corners on their phone, on their laptops, headphones on. But then when you're at one of these races, everyone's together. You have something in common with all of the other 3,000 people that are there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think that is something quite beautiful that, you know, we've been missing as a society. And obviously High Rocks have done a great job of filling that hole, and Primal hopefully will continue to give people more reasons to get together and do something pretty cool.
Will Primal be taking over High Rocks soon then? We'll be hearing more about Primal.
Stay tuned. So, I mean, our goal is to be the biggest hybrid fitness race in the world.
Yes.
So,
okay.
Let's see. Stay tuned.
Excited to see it.
So we're also very excited to see it, but we'll see if Donald hasn't killed me before then. So for me, like the main takeaways from what I'm hearing is you don't need to be 25 again. You know, it's never too late to discover fitness and to discover all the benefits that fitness can bring.
Absolutely.
I guess you just need someone like yourself, like to help guide people through that journey. And I think a massive part of that is the mindset shift.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think more people over the age of 35, up to 40, up to 50 should be taking part in these events as well, you know?
Yeah.
And it's great when you do see people doing it. And hopefully if the back's better by March, I'll be there as well.
No, thank you so much for coming on, and I have to say I love what you're doing for women in the space, because something that's really close to my heart is actually men in the same space, like guys who are sort of late 30s, early 40s. They've been neglecting their bodies, and then as a result, you do see a slight decline with, you know, their mental health. Absolutely. And they're struggling to find purpose. But I think a lot of purpose can be found when you focus on your physical health.
Yeah.
So I love what you're doing, and I love the messages that you're spreading, and the support, obviously, and the service that you give to these ladies. And we hope you continue to do it and
Thank you so much.
to empower women in the space.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. Where can people find you if they'd like to know a little bit more about what you do?
So my Instagram is Katy PADAM, Katy with a Y, and I do have a TikTok page as well. I am starting my YouTube page as well. So bought myself my new camera, my DJI camera, which I have no idea how to use, so I need to get some tips. So I'm going to start vlogging and talking a little bit more about my journey as well, because I just want to get my message across. And a lot of the clients I have as well, they're South Asian, and they don't really move to the other side of the world and do what I'm doing. You know, they'd love to do it. So I'm like, right, okay, I want to inspire more women of ethnic backgrounds to be able to have the courage to just get up and be like, right, I'm going to go and move somewhere and do what I want to do.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, the more platforms you have and the further and wider you can spread your message, I think the better for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So stay tuned, guys, and obviously please check out Katy's pages. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Pure Prep, and thank you so much to Buffalo Whey Protein. We'll see you on the next episode.